Oh my goodness, I have been muted the whole time and I just saw. Thank you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm in one chat and another chat trying to do different things. Thank you so much, uh, looks for letting me know that I was muted. How many times have I done that? Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, everybody. So, welcome tonight, everybody, to Hidden Knowledge Uncensored. I'm so grateful for you joining me on a different time. We're running into so many problems, so many crazy things going on in life. Let me know in the chat if you are feeling the same way. It's just one thing after another. And so that's where I'm at. But it's okay because we just keep going, keep having faith and trust, and everything's going to be okay. And so tonight we had to start a little late, and I'll get into a little bit of why here shortly. But I'm so grateful everybody joining us tonight from Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Telegram. So grateful for you joining me on whichever platform you choose to be on. And thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Everybody sharing my work, and everybody also that's purchasing out of my shop on my link tree, soon to be radiancetc.com. All of those purchases, you are not only supporting your health and wealth, but you are making a purchase with a sponsor of this podcast. And I'm so grateful that we all can help one another and just help. And it's just so beautiful. We're all connected. Um, and so thank you everybody for that as well. And so tonight we are going to get into the arson fires that are happening. These dangerous lights in the desert that Nancy and I saw when we were driving to the Red Pill Expo last month, in the middle of the deserts through Las Vegas. And then it turns out there's even more of them. So we'll get into that. And then also, um, AI, you ask AI, different AIs, the same question and you get different responses. And so it's kind of interesting to look at some of these responses and then which AI is really the best AI to use. Um, but when you start asking it medical questions, you learn real quick that they are they give you just things like statements that aren't true or telling us that it's not true and all these things. So it makes you quickly realize it's just another program source. But we're going to get into some of the cool things that Nancy and I asked it and some of the responses that I thought were actually pretty good. And which AI was it that told us that? So stay tuned and let me know in the chat which AI is your favorite AI to use. I'd love to hear what you think on the subject as well. So tonight we're going to start out with the arson fires. And this is the biggest reason why tonight's podcast was a little postponed and late today. Um, we here in Northern Nevada have been part of fires. And I just want to say that my prayers, I've really been praying for everybody that's been going through fires all over our country. Um, we've had fires here too in Northern Nevada. And last night, my daughter is showing up at my house in the middle of the night with 4 friends that the fire line came 3 blocks from her house, really just a couple blocks from the university here. Um, and so it was just pretty chaotic last night and today. But just so crazy that they call things like wildfires, but then when you go and look at it, it's an arson fire. It was started by a human. So it's not necessarily a wildfire. And to me, they shouldn't call all fires wildfires. When I was a kid, I remember that when there were arsenic fires, they would post the people's pictures all over the news. All kinds of things would happen. And now don't really see that anymore. It's like they're not making an example of the people that are doing this anymore. And so let me know in the chat if you think the same thing, or what do you think about it? Do you have any fires going on in your area as well? Do you think it's a coincidence that we have all of these fires going on around our country at the same time? I also find it interesting that they don't stop spraying chemtrails in my area. There's all these fires going on, and there's chemtrails going on. But wait a second, you tell us that the chemtrails are here to bring rain, but where is the rain? There's never any rain. There's just poison dropping from the sky. Let me know in the chat if you see the same thing. Do you guys see chemtrails with no rain? Is it just poison? Once in a while they get it to rain, but I feel like 95% of the times chemtrails are blowing in the sky, there's no rain. So it's just all a farce, really. And then I wonder what would happen if they start putting their chemtrail poison rain on a fire. Would it then mix chemicals with chemicals? Would it, would the fire hit and combust the chemicals? Is that why they don't do that? Or I don't know. I don't know. But if they really cared about people and they could make it rain, why do we have all these wildfires that can't get put out? Also, what's happening in my area here at the Hawk Fire, the wind just comes out of nowhere. We don't have wind for days, but then the wind comes out of nowhere and blows the fire into the city. And so where did the wind come from that you just all of a sudden now are like getting extreme wind to come through northern Nevada, blowing the fire crazy? It's just all too much coincidence for my liking. Let me know in the chat, what do you think? Is it too much of a coincidence for your liking as well? Do you think it's something suspicious going on, all of these fires? Other interesting things that happened last night too. All of a sudden, my daughter and her friends are at the house. We're talking about the fire, what's going on. They turn on the TV, and all of a sudden, news ads start coming on for fire insurance. And so it's like, and it's a Roku TV, a smart TV. So it's obviously listening to us as well. Or they just know, oh, everybody in Reno, we're just going to do fire, and Northern California, Northern Nevada, Oregon, everywhere where there's fires, we're just going to throw out all these ads for fire insurance. And tell me that they're not, something's not going on that's like, sneaky and shady, because everything seems to be, and so does this. And that's where really things add up. So then here in Northern Nevada yesterday, our Governor Joe Lombardo, has declared a state of emergency in Washoe County, Nevada, in response to the rapidly spreading Hawk Fire. The declaration, issued on August 22nd, directs all state agencies to coordinate through the Nevada Emergency Operations Center to supplement local firefighting efforts. And so it has been thousands of acres that are that have been burned, and thousands of people have lost their homes. It's just so sad. And this is just our fire. And I know this is happening all over our country. Since it was declared a state of an emergency, the Nevada National Guard deployed 60 troops and 2 helicopters, while hundreds of firefighters from local and state federal agencies are battling the blaze, fueled by strong winds and dry vegetation. And so I don't think it necessarily had to be this way, but it didn't have to be strong winds or dry vegetation. They create this place and create these areas to be that way. And so I just hope something can change. We haven't had fires in so many years. And then this year we're having all these fires again. So what's the coincidence behind all of that, of the years that we have all these fires and then the years that we don't? I don't know. I'd have to go and try to research and investigate a little bit more what's behind this. But it is just really sad, and I'm so grateful though that my daughter was okay. The fire didn't go past those three within that 3 blocks of her house, so she went back home today. But we'll see if she ends up coming back tonight. I also, the smoke, even if the fire's not close to you, but if you have strong smoke blowing in your area, that could still be just as dangerous and deadly for you. So, everybody out there, please be safe. Take extreme care with yourself and never wait till the last minute. I was really proud of my daughter for coming when she did and not waiting till the last minute, but just coming so she didn't have to feel um unsafe while she was sleeping. And that's the thing too, like, how are you going to hear fire alarms going off when you're asleep, or like alerts on your phone, if they even come? We were actually some people were getting alerts on their phone and some of us weren't. So then, what if you're not getting those alerts and the fire is coming at you? Just everybody be really, really careful. So grateful that everybody is okay over here. And I'm praying for others in my area that, they had to rescue a lot of animals away from zoos. A lot of people that I work with had to get themselves out, evacuate from their homes and their animals. And so I really am keeping everybody in my prayers, and really good thoughts for everybody out there as well. Please let me know if you have seen any fires in your area. Um, okay. And then, okay, so, um, crazy enough too, now going even into what Nancy and I were seeing in the desert. Actually, on that trip home, halfway through the trip home, we're getting calls that Nancy's family, Jim and Kim, are also going through evacuations and having to, pack up and leave stuff, like deciding on, packing up the car, they leaving, they going, all of these things. And we're just driving through the desert. We can't even do anything at that point except pray, which is the best thing that we can do, is pray. And yeah, just going through the desert, getting home as soon as possible. But thank God, thank Yah, that everything was okay. And that fire ended up getting put out too. Our fire here is almost out. I think it's still burning, but hopefully it will be out all the way soon as well. Um, and then going now into the solar project. Now, this is absolutely nuts. The lights they are building in the desert. Please let me know if you have seen any lights like this in the desert, and let me know where, because it's so important that we share these kind of things, because I had no idea about this until I was driving with Nancy through the desert. But let's here click on a couple of these, and just in the middle of nowhere, you'll see these big lights. I mean, and you're miles and miles and miles away from these lights, and you can see them. And you can also start feeling the horrible radiation coming off of these lights, even miles away from it. I was like, oh man, I started to feel like a little nauseous. My head just doesn't feel right. Look at, in the middle of nowhere, these big giant lights. It's just why do they have these? What is the point? And then these are solar panels It's powered by all these solar panels around this light coming up. And so there's a few of these solar energy project power stations. I'm pretty sure around the world, definitely a good amount of them in the United States. And here you can see even a couple of them. There's parts of the desert in between California, around Nevada, where they just have lines of these. So when Nancy and I were going through the desert, we saw one in Tonopah. Here's this one in Tonopah, and it was just one light. And then you see pictures of other places where they have multiple of them. So I can only imagine how it feels to be around multiple of these. Like one of them felt horrible enough. Um, but I mean, you can only imagine how much money, how much power, what is all this costing. There's some chemtrails also above them because we're in the deserts of California and Nevada, and they're so proud to be doing chemtrails. Now look at this. Look at how much radiation you could just see it coming off of the light. I mean, even our eyes can see that's how bad this frequency is coming off of this light. It's just so bad. So then now there's a bunch of pictures of those. Getting into some of the research and some local news reports on it. Let's start with the U.S. Department of Energy. And here, this is a project of the U.S. Department of Energy. Let's see here. Okay. And no, that's not going to help either. Okay. So I guess I could just kick this off 1 second. There you go. So there you can see this is an article from the US Department of Energy. It's also in the comments at the very bottom of this presentation over on Rumble, so you guys can see this yourself. So EERE success story, mirage to reality, Energy Department investment brings Crescent Dunes to life. And so here, let me make this bigger. Whoops. Why? There we go. Oh man. What is why is it? I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So here, this article was written April 2017. The same visionary scientists responsible for pioneering space exploration are also behind a national effort to commercialize concentrating solar power plants with integral energy storage. And so it goes on to say the same visionary scientists responsible for pioneering that space exploration are also behind a national effort to commercialize the concentrated solar power plants with integral energy storage. After years of research, testing, and validating the technology, in late 2015, scientists working on the Crescent Dunes Solar Energy Project of Nevada-based CSP plant successfully reached commercial operation. The journey to commercialize began nearly 3 decades ago. Back in the 1990s, a group of scientists, they were Pat and Whitney Rocketdyne, worked with the U.S. Department of Energy to develop a breakthrough technology to collect the sun's thermal energy and then store it in molten salt. From 1994 to 1999, Rocketdyne and DOE's Solar Energy Technologies Office built and studied a pilot project to validate technology, creating the world's first molten salt receiver at Solar 2, a 10 megawatt test facility in the Mojave Desert. One challenge remained: how to cost efficiently scale up and commercialize the emerging technology at the utility scale. When seed capital from this investment from U.S. Renewables Group and in partnership with the Rocketdyne's parent company, United Technologies Corporation, the company Solar Reserve formally formed in 2008 to commercialize the technology. And so here it just gets into more and more about how this one started. And then let's see here. So there is, in 2011, the Solar Reserve took the technology developed by the CEDO to the next level with financing from the Energy Department's Loan Programs Office and began building Crescent Dunes. Located in Tonopah, Nevada, Crescent Dunes features a solar receiver that sits on top of a tower and absorbs sunlight from over 10,000 mirrors. These mirrors follow the sun over the course of a day and magnify the sun's power 1,200 times, heating molten salt to high temperatures. This molten salt circulates through the tower and is then used to heat, stream, cycle, and generate electricity. The plant also features an automated system that controls the flow of molten salt to the receiver. So with the push of a button, plant operations manage dozens of valves and pumps to start and stop and adjust the collection of solar energy and control electricity production. Despite changing weather patterns, the molten salt heats more than 60 million pounds of salt each day to reach a consistent 1050 degrees Fahrenheit. The salt continually circulates in a loop, enabling its reuse by storing in tanks for the use at a later time. And so it's just absolutely nuts how much energy it's being put out. And you get into why are they doing this? And there's not a lot of answers. So it's very scary, nonetheless, that they are doing these high power energy projects in the desert, right? To me and Nancy, we both think it's like, it looks more like a direct energy weapon. Now, those of you that have been watching my podcasts, last summer when the fires happened in Los Angeles, we showed here on Hidden Knowledge Uncensored some video that showed something coming from the desert towards LA before the fire started. So now I'm curious, I want to go back to that podcast. And if I find anything interesting, I'll share it here with you guys as well. Was that video that I showed with something coming from the desert? Was it coming from the area of these lights? What are these lights used as a direct energy weapon? Everybody is saying that, the fires are started also with direct energy weapons. Are these lights doing that? It is something to look more into. I'm not surprised by anything anymore. Very sad to say, but that's just the truth. And so now we'll look at some local news report here on the Solar Dune projects.
The solar power generating facility The I-15 right across from the state line from Primm is set to partially shut down. The Ivanpah Solar Electric Generating Facility will close 2/3 of its plant next year. California Electric Company PG&E buys most of their energy, and they're ending that agreement in order to save their ratepayers money. Now, if it's approved by the California Public Utilities Commission, PG&E customers would stop getting power from the plant, and that would start next year. The plant says it is an opportunity to upgrade their facilities.
So that's interesting um, to hear that little news bit on their channel. Um, there we go. And so this is what somebody was sharing with me also in California, that they were being told on the news, and there you had just heard it yourself as well, that they were going to shut these power plants down when in fact they built more up. So they were supposed to take these lights down, but they built more. And so why is that? I don't know. Why would they tell people they're going to take them down and build more of them? And so that's also something that needs to be addressed as well. And now I wanted to share a little bit more of this article here. Gets into the landmark solar energy plant alongside Interstate 15 near the Nevada-California border is past its prime, left in the desert dust as more efficient technology is producing power cheaper days. Now 2 of 3 units in the solar generation station are scheduled to go offline in 2026. As far as I know, they are still online. And so it's supposed to be shut down in the interest of saving money for California ratepayers, according to plant officials. Information provided by the solar partners, PG&E, one of the utility companies, is terminating 2 long purchases. An agreement signed 15 years ago. Initially, the agreements didn't expire until 2039. But the plant's owner at PG&E's opportunity to terminate purchase from Unit 1 and Unit 3 through January 14th. And so they are still online. They have not been taken down, but they should be definitely as soon as possible. Another thing that they don't really get into saying right here, these projects have gone bankrupt multiple times. So why do they keep going? Why? I guarantee you, right? It's a Department of Energy project. So that means that taxpayers are paying for this. Another thing that's happening are that the birds are also hurting those lights are also hurting the birds and killing birds around them. And so if they're killing birds, what are they doing to people? We are all just manimals. If it is killing a bird, then it is killing a person. It's just happening at a slower rate. And so the Crescent Dunes Solar Energy Project in Nevada faced significant controversy after 130 birds were killed or severely injured during a test in January 2015. Biologists observed the birds flying into the plant's concentrated solar flux, a beam of intense heat focused 1,200 feet above the ground, which caused them to ignite mid-air, creating visible streamers of smoke. Key details regarding the avian mortality include, let me see. Whoops, sorry guys. So, key details regarding the avian mortality include the incident during the test operations activated 1/3 of the facility's 17,500 heliostats, creating a halo of concentrated sunlight. Birds, potentially attracted by the glow or mistaking mirrors for water, flew into 900-degree Fahrenheit beam and were polarized. That is just so sad. The operator, the Solar Reserve, subsequently changed operational procedures by spreading the standby aim points of the helostats to reduce flux intensity to less than 4 kilowatts per meter squared. This company reported 0 bird fatalities in 30 days following these changes. Long-term impact is while the initial incident involved over 100 birds, subsequent monitoring recording additional deaths from collisions and signing. However, total mortality remains significantly lower than initial fears. So this is just absolutely crazy and insane. To them, life is just meaningless and a low amount of fatalities, nothing to think about. We're just going to move on and keep on. And so you just really have to be aware of what's going on with research in general. And so, what kind of research are we being a part of and trusting with our lives? It really is something to look into when especially if they're trying to get you to do something. And so, if we spread out the lights, now it's not as intense where it's going to hurt them all at once. Now we're doing it at that low amount, where that subtle amount where it's still affecting them, but they won't know it's the lights. That's really scary. Things like this have to go. This is also just reminding me. I don't know if anybody out there, let me know in the chat. Have you guys seen the videos of the robot soldiers that are like coming out now, like platoons in San Diego with soldiers, no hats. They make humans wear hats, but these robot soldiers don't have hats on. But they have metal plated vest. It's just absolutely crazy what's going on. That's also super scary. I never thought we would be living in Terminator times. Let me know in the chat if you thought that you would be living in Terminator times. And how crazy do you think this is? Because I think it is so wild. And yep, I just tell my daughter that that's why we have to choose to be who we are. And it's so important nowadays to be the light, to be the truth, to be the life, and to stand in that no matter what. And no matter what anybody tries to say or do, we have to continue to share the truth and and learn and apply what we learn. Those are the biggest things as well. And that was what I had on those solar energy projects, but they do need to stop and be taken down immediately. And now I wanted to share something that was kind of interesting. When I was using Brave, and so Brave comes with Leo. Before we move on, I see here, what do you mean by Terminator times? And so by Terminator times, I mean by where computer is starting to control things. And like literally, you could go to the internet and look up robot military soldier. I mean, I might be able to find a video on it right now. So I couldn't believe it. I saw a video of robots, soldiers in San Diego military. And so when we're like at the Terminator is robots taking over the world, and that's where we are headed. And that's what's going on right now with military, with our world, with AI. There's just so much going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of. And I agree with a lot of the comments that are around these videos, and I'm glad to see that. Okay, so here's a video right here. So here's these robot platoons that are now in San Diego. But this is the robot army. They don't even blink. That's pretty scary. We're gonna have robot army running the streets.
All robots.
That is something else.
Right here in San
That's
Diego.
really scary. We're gonna have robots on the streets. And obviously this took time to build. This did not just happen overnight, but they're just telling us about it right now. So I don't know. I think it's pretty scary. Let me know. Do you think that looks like Terminator times? To me, it looks like Terminator times. And then AI, when you start to get into AI and what AI is doing, you can ask the same question to all different types of AI and you get a different answer back. And so, what does that just show you? You just dependent on whatever that certain AI has programmed to. Program allowability. What are they allowed to pull source from? It's not everything. I was just messing around and I was using Brave AI, which is Leo. And I was using Leo and I said, I wonder if it would tell me about Hidden Knowledge Uncensored podcast. So I said, do you know Gloria's Hidden Knowledge Uncensored podcast? And it was telling me it couldn't find it. And so I was like, that's pretty interesting. But then I was with Nancy and Nancy says, Gloria, I use Alt AI. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you use Alt AI. It's a paid for AI, and so I don't really have that one. But it could be well worth it if you're looking for an AI that you don't mind paying for. This one looks really awesome. It actually gave me all kinds of answers back for all kinds of things. So I'm like, wow, this is actually great. This is way better than the AIs that I've seen, the free AIs. And so we asked it some pretty cool questions. Nancy says she asked Alt AI. Let's see here. 1 second. And so Nancy asks, Alt AI, how Gloria Sharlein worked with Jonathan Otto on a docuseries Urotherapy. And so Alt AI says, Gloria Sharlein is a prominent voice in the alternate health space who's become known for her advocacy of urotherapy after her own serious health crisis. Who she is. Gloria Sharlein suffered a severe adverse reaction to her second Pfizer shot in June 2021. Within hours, she experienced an induced menstrual cycle, heart palpitations, and high blood pressure. What she describes was the worst experience of her life. She also dealt with severe tinnitus ringing in her ears following an injury. She turned to unconventional healing modalities and eventually found significant relief through urotherapy, which turned her into a passionate advocate. Yes, thank you, AI. I am. And she now runs a Rumble channel called Gloria Free for All, a Telegram channel called Hidden Knowledge Uncensored, and is active on X as @GgloriousGloria. Connection to Jonathan Otto. Jonathan Otto is a filmmaker and a health researcher who produces docuseries like Disease in Reverse, Cancer Secrets, and Healing Genesis. These series explore alternative and suppressed therapies, urine therapy being a major focus. Gloria Sharlein features as a testimony subject in Otto's work. She shares her healing story and credits Otto's natural therapy protocols in changing her life. Beyond just appearing in his docuseries, she becomes something of an ambassador for the urotherapy content. She hosts presentations, Q&A sessions, and podcast episodes where she walks people through Otto's research and the broader urotherapy lifestyle. The urotherapy angle in Otto's docuseries. Otto's series covers urine therapy from multiple angles and mainstream medicine ignores entirely. Urokinase, the number one drug used to control blood clotting, is naturally present in urine. Urine contains over 3,500 compounds with anti-inflammatory and anti-poisonous properties. The concept of urine as a personalized antivenom. Dr. Shankara Shetty, featured in the series, explains that urine is plasma ultrafiltrate, ultra-filtered blood, making it a tailored antivenom to whatever's in your system. Without the risk of pharmaceutical antivenoms that can kill people, urine therapy, historical presence across multiple cultures, and even past vaccine-related experiments using urine. Its potential role in DNA repair and countering toxins, including venom-related damage. Dr. Edward Group also features heavily recommending urine as the best skincare stem cell-based living raw skin regeneration product. Gloria's current work, she continues hosting the Hidden Knowledge Uncensored podcast, covering urine therapy alongside other suppressed modalities like chlorine dioxide and structured water. She also presents the Urine Therapy Summit through the Global Healing Institute. And if you're looking for specific presentations of Otto's urotherapy research, her Rumble playlist Urine Therapy is where she's compiled those episodes. So that is probably the nicest thing I've ever heard AI write. And it is so detailed, but it took asking a paid AI to so it just shows too like how much censorship is going around especially around my channel and such. And then I just really want to say thank you everybody for coming tonight too. And then I'm getting towards the end. So if anybody has any final questions or comments, you could go ahead and ask me. I can see the chat over on X. I can see the chat over here on Rumble. So please, I'd love to hear from you. So moving into the last nice thing that AI said was, I'm like, okay, now Nancy, I'm curious. Let's see what it says about you and me. And so Nancy asked, how does Gloria Sharlein know Nancy Henderson? And this is, again, Alt AI telling us back. Based on the available information, Gloria Sharlein and Nancy Henderson almost certainly connected through the Jonathan Otto urine therapy community. Here's what the picture looks like. The Jonathan Otto connection. Both women are featured as testimonial subjects in Jonathan Otto's docuseries, Disease in Reverse, Cancer Secrets, and Healing Genesis. They share parallel stories. Gloria was injured after her second Pfizer shot in June 2021, suffered heart palpitations, high blood pressure, severe menstrual issues, and tinnitus, found healing through urotherapy and other natural protocols. Nancy, a 77-year-old Californian retiree who suffered debilitating reactions after exposure to a vaccinated individuals, including blackouts and shingles-like virus, also found recovery through urine therapy. How they came together? The most likely path is that they met through the circle of Otto's work. Gloria became deeply embedded in the urotherapy advocacy world, hosting her Hidden Knowledge Uncensored podcast, running weekly Q&A sessions on X, and presenting Otto's research. Nancy, having her own dramatic healing story, was a natural guest. There's a specific episode, and Nancy AI, just so you know, she was actually also the co-host of the podcast at that time as well. And so there's a specific episode where Gloria hosts a panel described as guest wellness coach and author Brother Sage. Hosts Gloria, Josephine, and Nancy, brave sisters who healed with urotherapy. The brave sisters framing suggests these women formed a bond through their shared experience. So this is also what AI does, is AI is going to take our words and then interpret what that means, even in towards our relationships. We just say sentences to one another, and then it's going to say, oh, they are very close because of the way they're talking to one another, because of the labels we use for one another. And so that's also how AI is building our profiles. So be careful of that. But and it isn't wrong though. We are all very close and have a connection through urine therapy, Josephine, Nancy, and I. And so, both suffering serious health crisis that mainstream medicine had no answers for, both finding relief through a therapy the establishment ridicules, and both becoming vocal about it. Nancy has also publicly praised Gloria by name, crediting her alongside Jonathan Otto and others for her healing. So it's clear Gloria played a mentorship or guidance role in Nancy's urotherapy journey, not just a casual acquaintance. So very interesting there. And AI, yes, you're right. Nancy is way more than a casual acquaintance to me. Man, don't we all just love her, love each other? And but it's just so interesting there. So Alt AI gives us a deep in context to even things like my podcast and Nancy and I's relationship. So I just thought it was just so interesting. And one of the kindest things that I have to say that I heard AI say. And so I just want to share that with you guys. And now I'm looking at some questions here in the chat. So if you guys have some questions out there, drop them in the chat. And so do you plan to host any space conversation on X anytime soon? What will be the topic? I've been following you since a few weeks ago. Oh, that's so nice. I'm so glad to have you here. Welcome. And I was hosting X spaces in the past. And now, though, I am thinking about getting those going again. You can, in the meantime, if you wanted to check out some of my our past X spaces, you can go over to my link tree. And that link is in the chat. Go over to the link side and you could scroll all the way to the very, very bottom. There's so many great things to look through, but all the way here at the bottom, you'll see our X space recordings. We have some beautiful X space recordings all the way. Look at this, all the way down to 2025, 2024. I think we may have even had some in 2023, or we started these in 24. One of the two. But yeah, we have some great recordings there. If you go to some of my X spaces and it just is like a black screen, it's also because X has censored my spaces. And so some of my spaces have been taken down by X. And that's also what caused me to do this video broadcast through multiple streams. So like not just one platform can delete my work and it's gone forever. There's other platforms where you can find my work. And it's a shame that X was doing that to my spaces. I could very much well start up an X space again though, because I'm going to have time to do so coming up here. So I think it will be a great thing to do. I'll definitely let you guys know. Keep an eye out on my social media platforms. Keep an eye out on X at G Glorious Gloria. And we'll start that up again. And I would love to hear from you guys over there as well and join us there. And another space where everybody can come answer questions and just chat with one another easier too on subjects like that are just controversial and the subjects that not a lot of people want to talk about, but the things that are working. And so, that's why I keep going. Truth will always withstand time, right? And so, the people that aren't really telling the truth don't really stand throughout time. Like, they're the ones that end up starting hiding or denying things, like Fauci did in court, right? Pleading the fifth to every single question. But people that are speaking the truth continue to do so. That's a good way to use discernment and see, if people are being truthful or dishonest or not. It is one good way. And so it would be awesome to go back over on X. And then I was thinking about doing a little bit of like a lunch and learn maybe during the week over on X or something. Or maybe another evening space too. We'll see. Kind of maybe I'll put out some polls out and see kind of what times people are feeling better, like around lunchtime or evening. So keep an eye out for those polls. And then I'll kind of take an idea of what everybody rather have. And yes, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. I so appreciate everybody being here and everybody's donations. Thank you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And that kind of seems to be most of what I have for tonight. And so if anybody has any kind of final thoughts, please drop them in the chat before we go. I'm going to look up something to kind of do. So Rumble has opened up their platform for creators and content writers. And so I'm in like a probationary period type of thing. I think I'm actually at like creator level right now for Rumble. So I'm super excited about that. And there's some certain things that I have to do. So everybody being here, everybody talking to me in the chat, sending any kind of messages in the chat helps me keep creator profile high. And so tonight, now we are ending our podcast. I want to look and see if there are any of our great friends out there. If anybody, let me see, not too many live streams going on tonight. I am not seeing too many live streams going on tonight, so I may have to wait to test this another time. Because I don't know what necessarily happens. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait to try this. We'll test this out on the next stream. Okay. I really wanted to test it though, so I might just try to raid somebody's random live stream here. Let's see what looks interesting and good. What is on right now? Oh, these are all old streams. There's live right now. Man, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to wait on that because there isn't really some good streams out there to raid. So, thank you everybody for joining me. Just another announcement as well. Next Sunday, August 30th, I won't be having a podcast, but I probably will be doing a podcast this week on Wednesday during the day. And so keep an eye out on my Rumble channel, follow, subscribe. And you'll be getting that email for when I set up and schedule our next stream. And then you could come join me then, and it would be great. We'll continue to talk on more things around urine therapy, chlorine dioxide, frequency healing with red light therapy, PEMF. What about using energy devices made from copper that we provide with good energy frequency, not bad energy frequencies, and much, much more. And if you guys would also like to join me, and not wait for our next stream to come up, you can always go and schedule a free consultation with me at Calendly.com/radiance TC. And you can get your free 30-minute consultation, unlock your potential with wellness coaching, transform your life with personalized guidance. I can help you with personalized coaching, holistic approach, goal setting, accountability, sustainable lifestyle changes, empowerment, cleansing, filling the body with nutrition, using new and ancient therapies, things meeting you on your level and just helping you accelerate your journey on what that is for you. And so I'd love for you to join me. Sign up for your free 30-minute consultation with me at Calendly.com/radiance TC. And yes, I am so grateful for you all coming out tonight. Thank you so much. Stay tuned in my Linktree shop. We're going to have some more sponsors coming up. There's so many great sponsors. Do like I do for me and my family. Let's get out of big business shops and more into purchasing with small business. And not only that, but getting our best products ever. Don't miss out on things like your coaching. Always a great thing to get over here and do some coaching with me. I also have coaching over there with Jonathan Otto and Health Secret. Maybe you want to get on with Carrie Rivera and her parent guide, some snoot spray. Also chlorine dioxide deoxycare products, and chlorine dioxide Testimonies has some great products in their shop. We'll have Dave Oates on here soon. Relax Far Infrared saunas. They're just so wonderful. I love my Relax Far Infrared sauna. Red Life, red light panels, PMF mats, saunas too, hand devices, belts, all kinds of things over there. Cardio Miracle for a nutrition plus nitric oxide supplement. Dr. Group's products, Earth Harmony, Global Healing, Jonathan Otto's Well of Life products. You can use discount code Gloria over at Dr. Ely's store and get a discount over there while supporting our shop. Also using our link to get mark37.com ghost phones and tablets. You can't live without these kind of products as well. And then your Leaps and Rebounds rebounder, getting a discount over there with Gloria S. And this is the Zephyr Bible, coming straight from Hebrew to English text, cutting out kind of any middle translation. going straight back to the original text. And then make yourself healthy again. Last year's ages or any of the previous ages tickets, virtual slides and such, you can use discount code Gloria over there and discount code Gloria on Moon Maids. I absolutely am loving their skin vitality. And I have so many people I've been using their pain relief cream with, even people that have been through surgeries and seen instant pain relief. So that's also another really great one. You can't go without your earthing, grounding materials. Also, if you're interested, homeopathy is a great thing to know. You can learn more with Nurse Nicole and her team over at Homeopathy, Simple Homeopathy. They also have where you could get homeopathy products, and they have a 24-hour call line too. You can use my links there. You could download some free guides and such too. And don't forget about Purity Coffee, getting your pure coffee that enhances brain and gut and does great things for your body. Not a molded coffee at all. It does great health and focus. And you can use discount code Gloria for your first order over there and so much more. And so everybody use my links in my shop. I really do appreciate it. All of your purchases are helping your health, your wealth, and also supporting this broadcast here at Hidden Knowledge Uncensored's podcast. And so I truly am so grateful to each and every single one of you for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show, and I hope you're just like me. You want less of these lights in the desert, maybe realizing about the control that AI is getting. Maybe we should not have robot soldiers in the military. Oh man, that just was looking super dangerous. And we'll stay tuned here for more also coming up on things that we can also heal with. And that's where I mostly like to focus with the podcast, is on healing and positive things. And so stay tuned. We will have a healing podcast coming up this next week. And I look forward to seeing you here with me then. I hope you have a blessed evening, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Come sign up with me over and get your free 30-minute consultation if you have any even questions. I would love to answer them. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. God bless you all, and stay safe. All right. Bye-bye.